That's no good for a notion, salesman. Board!
Why not? What's the matter with credit?
It's old-fashioned. Charlie, you're an handful salesman. Your firm give credit?
No, sir.
Nor anybody else. River City next. Cash for the merchandise, cash for the button hooks.
Cash for the cotton goods, cash for the hard goods.
Cash for the soft goods, cash for the fancy goods.
Cash for the noggins and the piggins and the burgers.
Cash for the hogshead, caskin, demi-chop. Cash for the crackers and the pickles and the thigh pickles.
Look, what do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk? You get it? What do you talk?
Talk, you can talk. You can picker, you can talk. You can picker, you can talk, you can talk, picker. You can talk all you want, but it's different than it was.
No, it ain't, but you gotta know the territory.
Life's the Model T Ford made the trouble, made the people wanna go, wanna get up and go. 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14, 22, 23 miles to the county seat.
Yes, sir.
Who's gonna patronize a little bitty 2x4 kind of store anymore?
What do you talk? What do you talk? Where'd you get it?
Not the Model T at all. Take a gander at the store, at the Modern store, at the present day store, at the present day Modern departmentalized grocery store.
What do you talk? 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 Where'd you get it? What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk? Where'd you get it?
You can talk, you can picker. You can talk, you can picker. You can talk, picker. You can talk all you want, but it's different than it was.
No, it ain't, but you gotta know the territory.
Don't.
The hog's head, cask, and demi-john. Gone with the sugar barrel, pickle barrel, milk pan. Gone with the tub and the pail and the tears.
Ever meet a fellow by the name of Hill?
Hill? No!
Just a minute.
Never heard of any salesman, Hill.
Now he doesn't know the territory.
Doesn't know the territory.
What's the fellow's line?
Never worries about his line.
The Cracker Barrel being obsolete, or the you-needed biscuit in an airtight sanitary package with a Model T Ford.
Just a minute.
Never worries about his line. Or a doggone thing. He's just a bang beat bell ringing big hog break go never nothing rip for him every time a bullseye salesman. That's Professor Harold Hill.
Tell us, what's his line?
He's a fake, and he doesn't know the territory.
Look, what do you talk?
He's a music man.
He's a what?
He's a music man, and he sells clarinets to the kids in the town with the big trombones, and the rat-a-tat drums, and the big brass bass, and the piccolo. Uniforms too, the shiny gold brain on a coat and a big red stripe on it.
Well, I don't know much about bands, but I do know you can't make a living selling big trombones. No, sir. Mandolin picks, perhaps, and here and there a Jew's harp.
No, sells bands, boys bands. I don't know how he does it, but he lives like a king, and he dallies and he gathers and he plucks and he shines, and when the man dances, certainly boys but us, the piper pays him. Yes, sir. When the man dances, certainly boys but us, the piper pays him. Yes, sir.
But he doesn't know the territory.
Population 2,212. Cigarettes illegal in this state. Board, all aboard.
Well, if you're all through, I'll tell you about Professor Harold Hill.
You really know Professor Harold Hill?
Never saw him in my life, but I can tell you this much. He's given every one of us a black eye. As soon as he's worked a town through, the next salesman to get there gets automatically tarred and feathered and rode out to the city limits on a rig. Oh, you think that's funny? Well, go ahead and laugh. Your hair never grows back.
But why should he get rode out of town on a rail?
Because in order to sell band instruments and uniforms and instruction books, he has to guarantee to teach them kids to play.
Well?
And to form them kids into a band with himself as the leader.
And what's the matter with that?
He don't know one note from another. That's what's wrong with that. And he can't tell a bass drum from a pipe organ. I'll catch up to that swindling, two-bit thimble rigger, and when I do, I'll squeal on it so loud.
Oh, Charlie, you're mad. I sure would like to be there when you get a hold of that fella.
Well, not on this trip. Not in Iowa, anyway. Even the great Professor Harold Hill wouldn't try to sell to them neck-bowed Hawkeyes out here.
Gentlemen, you intrigue me. I think I'll give Iowa a try.
I don't believe I caught your name.
It is if you want to go around in your drawers all day.
And there I was in Madison Hospital, and nobody come to see me. Cousin Will never came. Aunt Bertha never came.
Your Aunt Bertha's dead.
She wouldn't have come anyway.
We can be cold as a wall in thermometers in December. We can ask about our weather in July. And we're so by God's on the king stand. Don't you know the for a week at a time and never say eyes so wide. But we'll give you our shirts and a bag to go with it. If your crop should happen to die.
So what the heck? You're welcome. Glad to have you with us. Even though we may not ever mention it again. You really ought to get
Iowa, Deepens, Des Moines, Davenport, Washington, Mississippi, Keokuk, Hayes, Clear Lake, Monterey, Iowa,
Ah, Mr. Squires? Yes, I'm interested in inquiring about a rig for Sunday if you could accommodate me.
Then I guess you'd ought to see the man in charge of hiring rigs. Who is late as usual?
Hey, Gregory!
Marcellus!
You old son of a... But Greg...
Professor Hill's the name, Harold Hill.
But Gregory, what are you doing here? Why didn't you let me know he was coming?
I didn't know I was myself. Besides, how was I to know you end up in a little tank town like this? You were a pretty big slicker back when you were in business with me.
Too many close shaves the way you were. Besides, I got me a nice, comfortable girl. Ethel Toppelmeyer, the boss's niece.
Gone legitimate, huh? I knew you'd come to no good.
So, what's the new pitch? Back in the band business, I heard you was in steam automobiles.
I was.
Well, what happened?
Somebody actually invented one.
No!
Now give me the lowdown here, Mars.
You'll never get anywhere with these stubborn islands, Greg. Besides, we got a music teacher here who'll expose you before you get your grip unpacked.
Male or female?
The music teacher? She's a librarian. Female.
Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. If she passes by, you be sure and point her out to me.
Oh, I will. So how are you going to start the pitch?
Same old way. Keep that music teacher off balance, and then my next step will be to get your town out of the serious trouble it's in.
River City isn't in any trouble.
Then I have to create some. I have to create the desperate need for a boys' band. Now, what's new around here? What can I use?
Nothing. Except the billiard parlor just put in a new pool table.
They never had a pool table here before?
No, only billiards.
That'll do. See you later, Mars. And don't forget, music teacher.
Right, music teacher.
Mr. Dunlop? Yep. Either you're closing your eyes to a situation you do not wish to acknowledge, or you're not aware of the caliber disaster indicated by the presence of a pool table in your community. Well, you got trouble, my friends. Right here, I say trouble right here in River City. Why, sure, I'm a billiard player, certainly mighty proud to say, always mighty proud to say it. I consider that the hours I spend with the cue in my hand are golden. Let me cultivate horse sense, and a cool head, and a keen eye. Did you ever take and try to give an ironclad lead to yourself from a 3-railed billiard shot? But just as I say, it takes judgment, brains, and maturity to score in a bulk line game. I say at any boom, can take and shove a ball in a pocket. And I call that sloth. The first big steps on the depths of the road of degradé. I say first, medicinal wine from a teaspoon, then beer from a bottle. And the next thing you know, your son is playing for money in a pinchback suit. And listening to some big out-of-town Jasper hear him tell about horse race gambling. Not a wholesome trot race, no, but a race where they sit down right on the horse. I'd like to see some suck-up jockey boy sitting on Dan Patch make your blood boil? Well, I should say. Now, friends, let me tell you what I mean. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pockets on the table. Pockets that mark the difference between a gentleman and a bum with a capital B, and that rhymes with P, and that stands for pool. And all week long, your River City youth will be frittering away. I say your young men will be frittering away their noontime, supper time, chore time too. Get the ball in the pocket, never mind getting dandelions pulled and screen door patched with a beefsteak pounded. Never mind pumping any water to your parents are caught with the cistern empty on a Saturday night, and that's trouble. Well, you got lots and lots of trouble. I'm thinking of the kids in the knickerbocker shirt tail young ones. Peeking in the pool hall one after school. You got trouble, folks. We're right here in River City. Trouble with a capital T, and that rhymes with P, and that stands for pool. Now I know all you folks are the right kind of parents. I'm gonna be perfectly frank. Would you like to know what kind of conversation goes on when they're loafing around that hall? You're trying out Bebo, trying out Q-Bets, trying out tailor-mades like cigarette fiends, and bragging all about how they're gonna cover up a telltale breath with sense. And one fine night, they leave the pool hall heading for the dance of the army. Libertine men, scarlet women, and ragtime. Shameless music that'll grant your son, your daughter with the arms of a jungle. Animal instinct, mass hysteria. Rents the idle brain is the devil's playground trouble. Right here in River City, with a capital T and that rhymes with P and that stands for pool. We surely got trouble. Right here in River City. Gotta figure out a way to keep the young ones moral after school. Mothers of River City, heed my warning before it's too late. Look for the telltale signs of corruption. The minute your son leaves the house, does he rebuckle his knickerbocker below the knee? Is there a dime novel hidden in the corn crib? Is he starting to memorize jokes from Captain Billy's whiz-bang? Are certain words creeping in his vocabulary? Words like swell, and so's your old man. If so, my friends, you got trouble. Right here in River City, with a capital T and that rhymes with P and that stands for cool. We surely got trouble. Right here in River City. Remember the Maine, Plymouth Rock, and the Golden Rule. Oh, we got trouble. We're in terrible, terrible trouble. That game with the 15 numbered balls, the devil's tool. We surely got trouble, trouble, trouble. With the T, gotta rhyme with P, and that stands for pool. Did you drop your?
No.
Didn't I meet you in?
No.
I'll only be in town a short while.
Good. That you, daughter? Yes, Mama. Keep on, Amaryllis. I'll be there in a minute. Hello, Mama. Fine, dear. Now your exercises. Yes, ma'am.
I don't remember the library being open last 4th of July.
It was, Mama, all evening. Mama, a man with a suitcase has been following me around all over town.
Ah, who?
Well, I never saw him before.
Did he say anything?
He tried.
Did you say anything?
Mama, of course not. Now don't dawdle, Amaryllis. So, do, la, re, mi, ti. A little slower, and please keep the fingers curved as nice and high as you possibly can. Don't get faster, dear.
If you don't mind me saying so, it wouldn't have hurt you to find out what the gentleman wanted.
Well, I know what the gentleman wanted.
What, dear?
You'll find it in Balzac.
Excuse me for living, but I never read it.
Neither has anyone else in this town.
There you go again with the same old comment about the mentality of River City people and taking it all too much to heart.
Now, Mama, as long as the Madison Public Library was entrusted to me for the purpose of improving River City's cultural level, I can't help my concern that the ladies of River City keep ignoring all my counsel and advice.
But, darling, when a woman has a husband and you've got none, why should she take advice from you? Even if you can't quote Balzac and Shakespeare and all them other highfalutin Greeks.
Mama, if you don't mind my saying so, you have a bad habit of changing every subject.
No, I haven't changed the subject. I was talking about the stranger.
What stranger?
With the suitcase who may be your very last chance.
Mama, do you think that I'd allow a common measure? No, really, Mama, I have my standards where men are concerned, and I had no intention.
I know all about your standards, and if you don't mind me saying so, there's not a man alive who could hope to measure up to that blend of Paul Bunyan thing. But you know a Webster you've concocted for yourself. As for your Irish imagination, I have a stubbornness in your library full of books.
Well, if that isn't the best I ever heard. Thank you. Can I have a drink, please? May I have a? May I have a drink, please?
Yes, dear. Winthrop, it's after dark. Is that a way to walk into the house? Look, that won't do it all. I'll have a kiss from you, boy. The lady over there is your sister, young man.
Hello, Winthrop.
Winthrop, where are your manners?
I'm having a party on Saturday. Will you please come? I'd especially like it if you'd come. Winthrop?
Well, Winthrop, Amaryllis asked you to her party. Are you going or aren't you?
No.
No what?
No, thank you.
You know the little girl's name.
He won't say Amaryllis because of the S, because of his lisp. He's ashamed.
We know all about his lisp, Amaryllis. Well, Winthrop?
I'll bet he won't say it.
No, thank you, Amaryllis.
Amaryllis. He's crying. Why does he get so upset at people? Just because he lisps?
It's not only because he lisps, dear. That's just part of it. What's the other part? Well, never mind, dear. It's just that he never talks very much. Not even to you and your mother? No, dear. We all have to be a little patient. I'm patient, even though he doesn't ever talk to me, but I do to him. Every night I say goodnight to him on the evening star. You have to do it the very second you see it too, or it doesn't count. Good night, Marian and Winthrop. Good night. Sleep tight.
There, dear, don't cry. You have lots of time. If not Winthrop, there'll be someone else.
Never. I'll love an old maid like you. I'm sorry, Miss Marian. Can I play my crosshand piece?
May I play
May I play my crosshand piece?
Yes, you may.
See, without a sweetheart, you have no one to say goodnight to on the evening star.
I know, Amaryllis. But for the time being, just say goodnight, my someone. You can fill in the name when the right someone comes along.
All right, it's better than nothing.
Yes, it is. Now you can play your crosshand piece.
Now I may play my crosshand piece.
Someone
my wife, Eulalie McKechnie, for the leading of the singing. And to J.C. Squires and his attempt for his stereo optic slides. And to Edward Koppelmeyer, our fine piano player. As mayor of River City, I would like to welcome all of you River City-ians to the 4th of July exercises set up for the indoors of Madison Gymnasium. Account the weather. 4 and 7. 4 and 7 The members of the school board will now present a patriotic tableau. The members of the school board will not present a patriotic tableau. Some disagreement about the costumes, I suppose. Instead, the Watanhi girls of the local wigwam of Kiwapa will present a spectacle, my wife, in which my wife, Eulalie McKechnie, will take a leading role. The Payne's fireworks spectacle, last days of Pompeii, will take place provided the rain stops by 9:30. It'll be out to Madison Picnic Park, across the creek from the pest house.
How can it be raining? Didn't the Gazette predict fair?
Sure did, Ebert. That's why we prepared for a storm.
The Gazette is accurate most of the time, and you know it, JC.
Well, you wouldn't last very long in the banking business being accurate most of the time.
You know what? Order!
Number 8's late again.
I make her early.
She's late, all right. She's right on time. What's the matter with your watch?
My turn!
All in the world that I said was...
Never mind. 4 and
We heard that there's a pool table in town.
Yeah, that's right.
No, just a minute.
Is it a pool table or isn't it?
Will you allow me to continue with my exercise?
We don't want any more exercises until we get this pool table matter settled.
Resist sin and corruption. Let's protect our children. Smite that devil and keep our young boys pure. Friends, may I have your attention, please? Attention, please. I can deal with my troubled friends with my hand this very hand. Please observe me, if you will. I'm Professor Harold Hill, and I'm here to organize University Boys Band. Don't think, my friends, how could any pool table ever hope to compete with the gold trombone? Rah, rah, ra-da-da-da, rah, rah. Remember, my friends, when a handful of troll players sit to the famous fabled walls of Jericho, billiard parlor walls come tumbling down. Oh, a band will do it, my friends. Oh, yes, I mean a boys' band. Do you hear me? I say River City's gotta have a boys' band, and I mean she needs it today. Where Professor Harold Hill's on hand, and River City's gonna have a boys' band. As sure as the Lord made little green apples. And that band's gonna be in uniform. Johnny, Willie, Teddy, Fred. And you'll see the glitter of crashing cymbals, the thunder of rolling drums, and the shimmer of trumpets. Ta-ta-ra! And you'll feel something akin to the electric thrill I once got when Gilmore, Liberati, Pat Conway, the great Creator, W.C. Handy, and John Philip Sousa all came to town on the very same historic day. 76 trombones led the big parade, while 110 cornets close at hand. They were followed by rows and rows of the finest virtuosos, the dream of every famous band. 76 trombones caught the morning sun, while 110 cornets blazed away. There were more than 1,000 reeds springing up like weeds. There were horns of every shape and kind. There were copper-bottomed timpanis and horse platoons, thundering, thundering all along the way. Double bell euphoniums and big bassoons, each bassoon having its big fat say. There were 50 mounted cannons in the battery, thundering, thundering louder than before. Clarinets of every size, and trumpeters who improvise a full octave higher than the sky. 76 trombones in the counterpoint, 110 cornets blazed away. To the rhythm of march, 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 all the kids began to march, and the marching
spellbinder. Why, I haven't seen highway people get so excited since tonight. Frank Gotcha and Strangler Lewis lay in the mat for 3.5 hours without moving a muscle. Never mind. I want his credentials. Grab that hoodlum. He almost blew up Mrs. Shin.
Thank you, Professor. Have to make an example of him. Ringleader, you know. He does. The gang does. Jeezy Clyde, let me go.
You wild kid just hanging around my oldest girl. His father's one of them there day laborers south of town. You wild kid just tagging down Main Street after my oldest girl last Sunday.
I wasn't either tagging.
Don't you contradict me.
We was just walking together. Jeezy Clyde.
You want your phraseology. I know what you're doing. My little Gracie Senior. Now you keep away from my oldest girl, or you'll hear from me till who laid the rails. Help! I'll talk to you Monday morning about this band thing over to City Hall. 10 o'clock sharp. Men! I want that spellbinder's credentials.
Oh, Constable, I'll be responsible for the boy.
You don't know this kid. He's big and he's tough. And he's got his gang waiting.
Oh, I'll be careful. Tommy, I'd like to talk to you about the band.
Oh, gee, Professor, that stuff's for little kids.
Now, I'm not talking about you playing in the band. You're mechanically minded, aren't you? Have you ever done anything with perpetual motion?
I almost had it once.
You did? You're my man. Do you realize that nobody has ever invented a music holder for a marching piccolo player? You see, nowhere to hang the music.
Jeezy Clyde, I wonder where I can get some wires.
Look in your cellar, Tommy. That's where people keep wire. Oh, Tommy.
Yes, sir.
Now, Constable, I'll show you how to break up a game. Oh, young lady. Oh, miss. What's your name?
Anita, I didn't have any idea you expected to meet. God.
Do you know Tommy Gillis?
Well,
Tommy, this is Anita. Escort the young lady home.
only excepting I'm not going home. I have to go to the library. God.
Then escort the young lady home by way of the library. By way of the candy kitchen.
Yes, sir. Do I have to?
You have to, Tommy.
Yes, sir. Professor, you're a pretty bright young fellow, but you have made a couple of mistakes.
Oh?
The mayor happens to own that billiard parlor and that new pool table.
What was my other mistake?
That's Anita. She's the mayor's oldest girl.
Just a minute, Professor Hill. We're the school board. We need your credentials.
Academic certificates.
Nothing of the kind.
We need letters and papers.
Make him put up a bond!
What am I hearing? Say. Ice cream.
Ice cream. But I don't sing, young man.
All right, talk then. Down here.
Ice cream.
See, singing is only sustained talking. Now you.
Ice cream.
Now you right here. Now you, sir. Ladies, from now on, you will never see one of those men without the other three.
Professor, you're wrong. Why, they've been hating each other for 15 years.
Ice cream, ice cream, ice cream.
How can there be
any sin insincere? Where is the good in goodbye, Your apprehensions confuse me, dear. Puzzle and mystify, tell me what can be fair in farewell, dear. While one single star shines above, how can there be any sin insincere?
I don't suppose that you live alone or anything.
No!
I have some lovely caramels over at the hotel if you...
Mr. Hill!
Professor Hill.
Professor? Professor of what? At what college do they give a degree for annoying women on the street like a Saturday night rowdy at a public dance hall?
Oh, I wouldn't know anything about that myself. You see, I'm a conservatory man. Gary, Indiana, gold medal class of Art 5.
Even if that should happen to be true, does that give you the right to follow me around wherever I go? Another thing, Mr. Hill, I'm not as easily mesmerized or hoodwinked as some of the other people in this town, and, well, I think it only fair to warn you that I have a shelf full of reference books in there, which may very well help me to find some interesting information out about, well, about you!
Hey, Gregory.
Oh, hi, Marcy. Don't call me Greg.
So, how'd you make out with the music teacher?
Scrumptious. 8 out of my hand the minute I tip my hat.
She did? Boy, did you cut a swat tonight. For even a minute, I thought you knew something about leading a band. Just like when you used to imitate that band concert fellow back at Chop.
Yeah. Kid stuff. I'm in rare form these days, son. You just keep your eyes on me for the next 4 weeks.
4 weeks? But it only used to take 10 days for the instruments to arrive.
It still does, but it takes 4 weeks for the uniforms.
Uniforms? Oh, Greg, you haven't added uniforms.
Uniforms and instruction books.
Oh, instruction books? But you can't pass yourself off as a music professor. I mean, not for any 4 weeks.
Mars.
Come on, you don't know one note from another.
I have a revolutionary new method called the think system, where you don't bother with the notes.
But in 4 weeks, the people are going to want to hear music. You're going to have to lead a band.
But when the uniforms arrive, they forget about everything else. At least long enough for me to collect and leave. Oh, this is a refined operation, son, and I have it timed right down to the last wave of the brakeman's hand on the last train out of town. Now, Mr. Washburn, if you'll excuse me.
Gonna line yourself up with a little canoodling, huh?
Well,
say, I could fix you up with Ethel's sister. Lovely girl. Teaches Sunday school.
oh, no wide-eyed, eager, wholesome, innocent Sunday school teacher for me. That kind of girl spins webs no spider. Listen, boy, a girl who trades on all that purity merely wants to trade my independence for her security. The only affirmative she will file refers to marching down the aisle. No golden, glorious, gleaming, pristine goddess. No, sir, for no diameter do I play fawn. I can tell you that right now. I snarl and I hiss. How can ignorance be compared with bliss? I spark and I fizz for the lady who knows what time it is. I cheer and I rave for the virtue I'm too late to save. The sadder but wiser girl for me. No bright-eyed, blushing, breathless baby doll baby. No, sir, that kind of child ties knots no sailor ever knew. I prefer to take a chance on a more adult romance. No dewy youngness who keeps resisting, all the while she keeps insisting. No wide-eyed, wholesome, innocent female. No, sir, why she's the fisherman, I'm the fish you see. Plop! I flinch and I shy when the lass with the delicate air goes by. I smile and I grin when the gal with the touch of sin walks in. I hope and I pray for Hester to win just one more A. The sadder but wiser girl's the girl for me. The sadder but wiser girl for me.
Everyone is so excited about the band.
I'm Claire the Pianola Girl, and I'm Maud Dunlop, and this is Mrs. Squires, and this is Alma Hicks, and that's Mrs. Britt. And of course, you've already met Eulalie McCaffrey Shin, our mayor's wife. Isn't it all exciting, Eulalie?
Oh, I could I couldn't say at this time. My husband will wish to investigate, I'm sure. And naturally, I'm reticent. Oh yes, I'm reticent.
But of course, Mrs. Shin, you see, part of my music plans include a committee on the dance. No, wait. Do that again, Mrs. Shin. Your foot, the way you raised it just now.
Oh, I have a bunion there that bothers.
Oh, what grace! What natural flow of rhythm! What expression of line and movement!
Mr. Hill!
You must accept the chairmanship for the ladies' auxiliary on the classic dance. Mustn't she, ladies?
Oh, yes, you may.
Every move you make, Mrs. Shin, bespeaks Del Sarte. Will you say yes, Mrs. Shin?
Well, you really became me Shin. Down. Well.
Then you accept?
Yes, indeed.
Thank you. Now, the young lady who teaches piano, Marian Peru, I believe. After all, she is the librarian.
Pick a little top, little chip, tuck a lot, pick a little more, pick a little top, little top, little chip, tuck a lot, pick a little more, pick a little top, little chip, tuck a lot, pick a little more, pick a little top, little chip, her kind of big doesn't belong on there, of course I should be taking a little top, but she acted dirty balls. And the worst thing, of course, I shouldn't be telling this, but I think I'm nice for you, and I didn't tell.
I'll tell. Why, that woman made brazen overtures to a man who never had a friend in this town till she came here. Old Miser Madison.
Miser Madison? You mean Madison Picnic Park? Madison Gymnasium? Madison Hospital? That Miser Madison?
Exactly. Who did he think he was anyway?
Well, I should say, show off gave the town the library too, didn't he?
Well, that's just it. When he died, he left the library building to the city, but he left all the books to her!
She was seen coming and going from his place.
Oh yes. This woman made
Brazen overtures!
Where a woman touched me. The library building, but he left all the books to her. Just her.
Yes, of course. I have everything that you need up in my hotel room. Just follow me. Good night, ladies. Good night, ladies. It's all right. I I know everything and it doesn't make any difference.
What are you talking about?
You were probably very young. Anyone can make a mistake.
What?
Oh, no apologies, no explanations, please. You see, I'll only be in town a short while and the sadder but wiser girl for me.
Would you please make your selection and leave?
I have.
Well, what do you want to take out?
The librarian!
Quiet, please.
The librarian. You're not listening, Marian. Look. Marian. Marbles. 6 Steelies, 8 Aggies, and a dozen Pee-wees, and 1 big lassie with an American flag in the middle. I think I'll drop them.
No!
Madam Librarian. What can I do, my dear, to catch your ear? I love you madly, madly, Madam Librarian. Marian, heaven help us, if the library caught on fire and the volunteer hose brigade had to whisper the news to Marian. Madam Librarian. What can I say, my dear, to make it clear? I need you badly, badly, Madam Librarian. Marian, if I stumble and I bust my whatchamacallit, I could lie on the floor unnoticed till my body had turned to carrion. Madam Librarian. Now in moonlight, a man could sing it in the moonlight. And a fellow would go that his darling had heard every word of his song with the moonlight helping along. But when I try in here to tell you, dear, I love you madly, madly, Madam Librarian. Marian, it's a long lost cause that I can never win. What the civilized world accepts is unforgivable sin. Any talking out loud with any librarian, such as Marian. Madam Librarian. but when I try in here to tell you, dear, I love you madly, madly, Madam Librarian. Marian, it's a long lost cause that I can never win, but the civilized world accepts as unforgivable sin. Any talking out loud with any librarian, such as Marian. Madam Librarian. Ladies' Dance Committee meets Tuesday nights. Marshmallow? Hiya, Tommy. Looks like we've had a pretty good morning. 11 sales out of 12 tries. I tell you what, it's getting pretty late. Why don't you go home and help yourself to some dinner?
Gee. Thanks, Professor.
Thanks, Tommy.
Just a minute. Are you soliciting? You haven't got a license.
Why, no, Mr. Mayor. You see, I collect doorbells, and this particular specimen had a...
Larry will not avail you. Soliciting is statutory in this county. Malfeasance without a permit. Why haven't you been down to City Hall with your references?
Why, I just... Mr. Mayor, you're spreading the little finger.
Well, what?
It's hereditary.
Oh, it is? What does that mean?
It means that your son's little finger is perfectly situated to operate the spit valve on a B-flat flugelhorn.
Is that good?
Good? It means that America has at last produced an artist who can minute the flugel the minute waltz in 50 seconds.
How do I get one of those horns?
Sign here, Mr. Mayor. That'll be $17 import fee.
Yes, sir. And just think, I could have missed this. I haven't got any son! You unscrupulous! Flew by night, you unfalopulous! You be down to City Hall with your references by 3 o'clock!
You mean this afternoon?
Why, I couldn't make myself any plainer if I was a Quaker on his day off!
Mrs. Peru, do you realize that you have the facial characteristics of a cornet virtuoso?
I don't know if I understand you entirely, Professor.
Well, if your boy has that same firm chin and those splendid cheek muscles, by George! Not that he could ever be really great.
Ah, is that so? And in the name of St. Bridget, why not?
Well, you see, all the really great cornet players were Irish. O'Clark, O'Mendez, O'Dowd.
But, Professor, we are Irish.
You are? That clinches it. Sign here, Mrs. Peru. That'll be $7 earnest money, and nothing more due until the first delivery at the opening of band practice. Now, I will need the boy's measurements for his uniform.
His uniform? Ah!
Certainly his uniform. Hello, son. And not a penny due until delivery, which gives him 4 weeks to imagine, to anticipate, and to enjoy at no cost whatsoever. Never allow the demands of tomorrow to interfere with the pleasures and excitement of today.
Would it have,
A stripe? Certainly, my boy, a wide red stripe running up each side. Now, what do you think of that?
You'll have to excuse Winthrop, Professor. We can't get her to say 3 words a day even to us. Oh, but if you get her to play in the band, you have St. Michael's on the way with you. But if anybody can do it, I'll bet you can. Out of a crowd, I'll pick you for hod-carrying, clay-pipe-smoking, shamrock-wearing, man-running, pinching, terrace-out, minstrel-singing Irishman. Big arm and big jabbers, very up from you, boy.
Gary, Indiana.
I knew it. What did you say?
Gary, Indiana. In fact, Gary Conservatory was my alma mater.
Was she now?
Why, yes. Gary, Indiana, gold medal class of '05. How to do, Miss Peru?
How to do, Mr. Hill?
Peru. I thought the name sounded familiar. You know, I've been
He was to put Winthrop in the band. We're not interested, Mama. Aw, but Marian, the boy might have his father's musical gift. He does have my jaw, you know.
Oh? Your husband musical? Well, I'd certainly like to...
Do you barge into everyone's business like this? Prying into personal affairs? We're not interested. Marian.
Now that sounds like 1 for and 1 against. Now why not let the boy's father decide this?
The boy's father's dead. Anything else?
I am sorry, but this is all the more reason for your brother to have something like...
My brother is a 10-year-old problem child who can't understand why his father was taken away. Would you care to explain? He's been brooding about it for 2 years now. As for your musical tricks, why don't you go into business with some nice carnival man who sells gold-painted watches and glass-diamond rings?
Miss Peru, I hardly believe that you could I get the feeling she kind of likes the idea. A little cautious, perhaps, but I admire that in a woman. You just keep me alive, and I'll be back on later in the week.
Well, one moment, Professor. About the boy's measurements, I make all his clothes. Sleeve 21, waist 18, inseam 14, hips...
Fine. That's all I need. Now, I must get back to my hotel.
Well, Professor, I do hope you'll excuse Marian. She's not really herself lately, and I think that...
No apologies, no explanations, please. I'm sure that at heart, she's as lovely as yourself. Good day to you, little Peru.
Has he gone yet? He has. And I hope not forever. Darling, don't you ever think of the future? Gary, Indiana, conservation class of '05. Now, darling, Mama. Surely a girl's future doesn't depend on every fast-talking, self-centered, woman-chasing traveling man that comes to town. And the fact that he claims his commodity is music does not, in this particular case, impress me. All right, darling, all right. Only it's a well-known principle that if you keep the flint in one drawer and the steel in another, you'll never make much of a fire. Mama! Winthrop, I know you're there. Winthrop, I need you to go to the library and set aside, ask Miss Grubb for the book I set aside. It's a large book. It's green with gold writing on it. It's the Indiana State Educational Journal, 1890 through 1910. Do I have to? Oh, yes, but I've written it all down so you won't have to talk to anyone. Thank you, dear. Now, what are you up to? Why do you need books at this hour of the night? I have a feeling that this book may poke some very large holes in the professor's claims. Well, I give up. At your age, if you don't mind me asking, What kind of white knight do you expect to come riding along? Well, I'm not waiting for Luther Griner, who backs me up into the ancient history shelf every time he comes into the library. He does. Or Ed Gamage in that removable back seat in his buggy. But I'm not waiting for a man in shining white armor either. Lassie, I had my white knight. Your father was a special man, and I miss him sorely. Oh well. But tell me, Marian, what kind of metal-totting, sword-swinging man have you conjured with that Irish imagination of yours? My white knight, not a Lancelot, nor an angel with wings, just someone to love me, who is not ashamed of a few nice things. My white knight, what my heart would say if it only knew how. Please dear me nice, show me now. All I wanted was a plain man. All I wanted was a modest man, a quiet man, a gentleman, a straightforward and honest man to sit with me in a cottage somewhere in the state of Iowa, and I would like him to be more interested in me than he is in himself, and more interested in us than in me. And if occasionally he pondered what makes Shakespeare and Beethoven great, him I could love till I die. Him I could love till I die. My white knight, not a Lancelot, nor an angel with wings, just someone to love me, who is not ashamed of a few nice things. My white knight, let me walk with him where the others ride by. Walk and love him till I die, till I
Zanita! Hey, Zanita!
Mommy, we're not celebrating birthday on the baby. God.
All right, then meet me after supper.
I can't. It's at birthday night. Meet you where?
The Footbridge.
You see, isn't that just what I said? Last time the lumberyard and now the Kupper. And where will you meet me after that? In the black hole of Calcutta? Ye God.
I only want to show you my invention. my music holder for the marching piccolo player. It still has a couple of minor flaws. You see, when you keep it tight enough to hold the music steady, you cut off circulation in your arm and you can't wiggle your fingers. And you go cross-eyed. Meanwhile, you could go blind.
Is that the first thing I said, or isn't it?
Yes, George.
Yes, the very first thing I said, or I'll leave hay with the horse. Get that spellbinder's credential, as I said, morning of July 4th, 1912. And now look, my wife is up dancing at any and all hours.
Now, George.
The school board is singing up street and down alley. My daughter is out boodling around with some wild kid. And my business has fallen so far off, I can't find the balance sheet.
Mr. Mayor, I found some very interesting information about Professor Hill's alma mater.
His who?
His university.
I know all about that. In fact, that's the only thing I can ever get out of him. Gary Conservatory, class of '05.
Yes, but if you'll just take a minute to read about the conservatory, I don't think you'll have to look any further. It's on page...
Papa, the Wells Fargo wagon is just coming up from the depot.
Wells Fargo wagon?
A likely story at this hour of the day, nonsense. The Wells Fargo wagon.
It could be the band instruments.
The band instruments.
Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. Oh, please let it be for me. Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. I wish I knew what it could be.
I got a box of maple sugar on my prepared.
In much I got a great bag
And once I got some grapefruit from Tampa.
Covering woods and be a bathtub and the cross-cut sun.
Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. Oh, bring raise a price of COD. Yes, it could be. Yes, you're right. It surely could be. Something very, very special now. Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. Oh, don't let it pass my door. Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. I wish I knew what he was coming for.
I got some salmon from Seattle last September, and I expect a new rock.
I hope I get my raisins.
The DA sends a cannon for the courthouse square.
Oh, ho, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming now. I don't know how I can never wait to see. It could be something for someone who is not related, but it could be something special just for me.
Here you are, Winthrop.
My cornet, G thanks, Professor.
Men, you will each receive individual instruction in due course. In the meantime, keep off the streets. Here you are, Joey. And remember, think the minuet in G. La-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da, la-di-da, la-di-da.
Sister, isn't this the most scrumptious solid gold thing you ever saw? I never thought I'd ever see anything so scrumptious as a scrumptious solid gold thing. Oh, sisters.
Round one for you, Mr. Hill. But I better hear some bargum tootin' out of them there horns in pretty short order, or I'll see you over in front of the grand jury over to the county seat. Now, Miss Marian, about that book.
Come, George, Tempest Fugits.
You want your phraseology. Get along if you want to. I have to get something from the librarian. About that book.
Ladies' Dance Committee meets Tuesday nights at the high school.
Lovely, ladies, lovely. Now, turn, take the body with you. Lovely. Now, let's have a go at our Grecian urns. One, Grecian urn. Two, Grecian urns. And a fountain. Splendid, splendid. I predict that our Delsarte display will be the highlight of the ice cream sociable. Now, gentlemen, if you're ready. And don't forget, ladies, don't make me tell you again, keep your face to the audience. All right, Mr. Dunlop.
It's you in the sunrise, it's you in my car, it's you all the way into town. It's your sweet hello dear that sets me up, and it's your got to go dear that gets me down. It's you on my pillow in all of my dreams, till once more the morning breaks through. Words could be saner or true or plainer than it's you. It's you.
Smile, girl, smile.
Yes, it's you. Oh, yes, it's
Please, kids, Mrs. Shin will have my head.
Mr. Washburn, we are entitled to 5 more minutes.
Well, if you think you can hold these kids back, go ahead.
Start her up, Mr. Washburn. Wait till you see the new steps Professor Hill taught us.
All right, kids, what'll it be?
Mr. Poopy.
Now, a woman don't kiss on the very first date is usually a hussy. But a woman don't kiss on the second time out is anything but fussy.
But a woman who'll wait till the third time round, head in the clouds, feet out the ground. She's the girl he's glad he's found. She's his
shapoopy, 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 shapoopy. Shapoopy, shapoopy, shapoopy.
Walk her once, just raise the curtain when you walk around twice and make for certain. Once more in the flower garden, she will never get sore and beg for pardon.
Squeeze her once and she is looking if you get a squeeze back that's fancy cooking. Once more from the pat her up or she will never get sore on the way to supper.
Now little old Sal was a no-gal as anyone could see. Look at her now, she's a go-gal who only goes for me.
Squeeze her once and she is looking if you get a squeeze back that's fancy cooking. Once more from the pat her up or she will never get sore on the way to supper. Shapoopy, 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 the girl is hard to get. Shapoopy, 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 but you can make her wet.
Mr. Shin, Your Honor, your daughter and I will go steady behind your back.
Why, you little...
We'd rather do it in front of your back,
Do
but...
what? Never mind.
Zanina's scared of you, but I'm not. And I should think you'd hate to have your own daughter scared of you.
I'm gonna warn you once more. If I ever catch you touching my daughter, I'll by gum horsewhip you till hell won't have it again.
Now, George!
Not one poop out of you, madam.
I think he means pig.
Yes. Now get out of this public building.
I got as much right to be in a public building as anybody.
Right? How do you get any right around here? Aiding and abetting the swindling activities of that cymbal salesman? You know what I see written all over you? Reform school! Now get out! Get out, you wild kid job!
Papa! Capulets like you make flooding the marketplace. Eat God!
You are to phraseology, young woman! Go home! Ukulele!
Yes, George!
You tend to your dance.
My dance!
All handles, Anita. Taken up with wild kids from the wrong side of town!
Mr. Mayor, if I could just make you understand.
Well, you can't. And by the way, thanks for nothing. I read that book you gave me from cover to cover for a whole week now and didn't find a thing.
Mr. Mayor, if you please.
I'll settle your hash as soon as I get these premises off my daughter. Yeah.
All right, but in the meantime, I want you to know that I'm vouching for Tommy Gillis. That boy has the confidence of every kid in this town. You'll be standing in line to shake his hand by the time our band plays its first concert.
By the time your band plays its first concert, the individual members will have to foregather in wheelchairs on account of their broken legs they'll get from tripping over their beards. Let me tell you something, my feathered young, my fine, never mind. JC, Oliver, York, Owen, I want that man's references and I want them tonight. Oh, don't let him out of your sight. He's slipperier than the Mississippi Sturgeon.
Do you mean you want us to get his credentials?
Get his papers or get him in jail. Why, I couldn't make myself any clearer if I was a button hook in the well water.
Professor Hill, I think Mayor Shin has behaved abominably, and I think it was wonderful of you coming to Tommy's defense like that.
Oh no, that was nothing.
Oh yes, it was.
Oh no, a man can't dodge the issue every time a little personal risk is involved. What is it that the poet says? A coward dies 1,000 deaths. The brave man, only 500. Unfortunately, of course, the mayor was already pretty mad on account of his billiard parlor. Now, I suppose a recommendation from a musical authority such as... But I couldn't ask you to do that now, could I?
Why? Professor Hill?
You would?
Well, I'd be glad to. I just wish I was a little more informed. I've been meaning to talk to you about Winthrop's cornet.
Ah, yes, his cornet. Mother of pearl keys.
Oh, yes, I'm sure it's fine, but you see, he never touches it. You know, the first week or so, we made a few, experimental blats, I guess you'd call them.
Yes, blats.
And he sings the minuet in G, la-di-da, almost constantly.
La-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da.
Yes, but he never touches the cornet. He told me that you told him it wasn't necessary. He tells me about some think system. If he thinks the minuet in G, he won't have to bother with the notes. Now, Professor...
Now, Miss Marian, the think system is a revolutionary new method, I'll admit. But so was Galileo's conception of the heavens, Columbus's conception of the egg, globe, Bach's conception of the well-tempered clavichord. Now, I cannot discuss these things here in public, but if you would allow me to call... When may I call?
Why, any night this week.
Mr. You must join our drill sergeant committee. You were so dear tonight, Dan. Talk about pickling with Professor Hill. Choo choo choo, talk a lot, pick a little more, pick a little, talk a little, pick a little. Choo 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 choo. You did it, Mary.
Yes, well, congratulations. Now let's see. You know, all week long I've been trying to show you fellows my references and my credentials, but you always seem to get off the subject somehow. Now, I have everything that you need up in my hotel room. Take me a second.
Sorry, Professor. Afraid we're gonna have to come along with you.
Yes, of course. Well, let me just see if I have my room key. Oh, what's this? A written testimonial from Madame Rini, the only female bassoon player ever to appear on the Red Pass circuit. Her stage name, of course. Actually, she was from Moline. Lida Rose Quackenbush.
Hey, please take a look at that.
Oh, you'll never forget the name. Same as the old song. Lida Rose, I'm home again, Rose.
To get the sun back in the sky. Lida Rose, I'm home again, Rose, about 1,000 kisses shy. Ding dong ding, I can hear the chapel bell chime. Ding dong ding, at the least suggestion, how about the question? Lida Rose, I'm home again, Rose, without a sweetheart to my name. Lida Rose, now everyone knows that I am hoping you're the same. So here's my love song, not fancy or fine. Lida Rose, oh, won't you be mine? Lida Rose, oh, Lida Rose, oh, Lida Rose.
Will you ever tell him? Won't you ever tell him? Ah, yes, I know. Ah, fiddlesticks, just open your mouth and let it come out.
No, Mama.
Now, Cuffin, if he ever comes to call again, you see him alone. And if you haven't the gumption to tell him how you feel...
Tell him?
Well, there's nothing wrong with a little ladylike hint.
Mama.
Winthrop, where have you been?
Fishing?
Fishing?
With Harold. You mean Professor Hill?
Mm-hmm.
And look, I've still got some worms left.
Oh, did you have a good time?
Scrumptious. He told me all about his hometown there, Indiana. And he said he'd take me there someday.
Tell me a song that hardly had any S's in it. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, let me say it once again. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, that's the town that knew me when. If you'd like to have a logical explanation how it happened on this elegant syncopation, I will say without a moment of hesitation, there is just one place that can light my face. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, not Louisiana, Paris, France, New York, or Rome, but Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, my home, sweet home. If you'd like to have a logical explanation how I happened on this elegant syncopation, I would say without a moment of hesitation, there is just one place that can light my face. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, not Louisiana, Paris, France, New York, or Rome, but Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, my home, sweet home. This one is my life frog. La-dee-da-dee-da-dee-da. Oh, leave the dishes, Mama, I'll do them. Don't you have to change for the sauce? Oh, there's time later.
Hey, Shins live around here somewhere?
Oh, the Shin home is on East Elm. This is West Elm.
Oh, criminy! I see you're the piano teacher in town here. I'm sure you've heard about this fella Hill forming a boys' band.
Yes.
Well, don't let him worry you no more. I got the goods on him in spades. Swindling two-bit thimble rigger. That's why I gotta see Shin. I'm just passing through. Number 8 only makes a 15-minute water stop. Wish it was 20. Would sure like to spend 5 minutes on you, girly girl.
Who are you?
Name's Charlie Cowell. Anvil salesman. But just now, I'm out to protect the good fraternity from this swindler.
Oh, Mr. Cowell, you're making a big mistake.
Mistake? Mistake my old lady's corset cover. That fella has been the raspberry seed in my wisdom tooth for just long enough. He spoiled Illinois for me. He ain't gonna spoil Iowa. Say, what kind of piano teacher are you? You didn't see right through him? Why, he's no more professor than a...
Oh, I know all about that. Band leaders are always called professor. It's a harmless deception. He's a fine director, and his scholastic abilities...
Wait a minute. Fine director? Have you heard one note out of any band?
No, but that doesn't mean...
Nothing, girly girl. He ain't never formed a band in his life, and he never will.
Oh, if you'll just listen to me for a minute.
I'd like to. I'd like to do more than that. I had the time. I sure got the inclination. But I still need to get to that train and deliver these letters.
Oh, you'll never make your train at the depot. You'll have to catch it at the crossing.
No, sir, I've got to leave word, and I can see you ain't the one to leave it with.
Oh, just a minute, Mr. Cowell. Well, you don't know me yet.
Is that an invitation?
No, I mean, I don't know you, and well, see, it's just...
Yes. I need more time anyway.
I mean, as well as I'd like to.
No trouble there, girl.
I've never met a man who sells anvils before. That's something, well, quite different.
Takes a real salesman, I can tell you that. Anvils have a limited appeal, you know. What am I doing? If I could miss that train, I could lose my job, and I still have to see Shin.
Leave word with me.
Not on your tin type. How do I know you deliver these letters?
Try me. There's your train, now run for it.
Why, you double-dealing little... Who do you think you're protecting
thing anyway? That fella has got a girl in every county in Illinois, and he's taking it away from every one of them. And that's 102 counties. Neither one of you has heard the last of me, girly girl.
After the suggestion, how about the question? Like a rose, I'm rolling and rose without sweetheart to my game. Good evening, Miss Marian. Like a rose, now everyone knows that I'm hoping you're the same. So here's my love song.
Marian! Marian, dear, who was you talking to that moment? Why, Professor Hill.
Mrs. Peru, the top of the evening. Miss Marian?
You and Marian come set. I've got some jelly on the stove. There's no jelly on the stove, Mama. Well, I'll put some on.
Shall we set, as your mother said?
Well,
Now, you did ask me to call.
Did I? Oh, I didn't mean anything by it.
Now, Miss Marian, I'm not suggesting that your invitation inferred anything other than academic enlightenment. The think system? I've been by your house a few times this week to try and explain it to you, but there always seemed to be someone around. Mostly ladies, I thought.
Yes, Mrs. Squires and several of the ladies.
Good. Wouldn't want anyone beating my time. You wouldn't. Well, it's evidently not the convenient night out. I'll see you at the sociable later.
Professor Hill, is it true that you've had 100... What I'm trying to say, was it true that you developed a think system?
What? Think system, yes, it's really quite simple. As simple as whistling. Nobody has to show you how to use your lips in whistling. You simply think the tune and it comes out clearly. Here. Now, you could just try this for yourself before you ask any...
I take your word.
Could we sit down?
Are all music teachers as dense as I am?
All music teachers?
I dare say you've met hundreds.
Well,
And are they all as fascinated with you? With the think system?
Oh no, some more, some less. In fact, one young lady even thought of the same system before I got to her town. She showed me a few refinements.
I see.
Have I said something wrong?
Please don't let me keep you, Professor Hill. I'm sure you have many more important things to do than stand here and explain the think system to me.
Can't think of one.
And I must be very dull company for a man of your experience.
Now say, where'd you get an idea like that?
One hears rumors of traveling salesmen.
Now, Miss Marian, surely you don't believe everything that you hear. After all, one does hear rumors about librarians.
Oh, I suppose you're referring to Uncle Matty.
Uncle Matty?
Mr. Madison, my father's best friend. No matter what they say, he left me an assured job so Mother and Winthrop and I could have some security. Well, surely you don't believe...
Of course not. But why do you suppose people start those kinds of rumors?
Narrow-mindedness, jealousy. Jealousy mostly, I guess.
Exactly. Jealousy mostly starts rumors about traveling salesmen. What have you heard?
Well, nothing about you personally, just generally.
What have you heard generally?
But of course it stands to reason that disappointment and jealousy can lead to, well, take you for instance and your attentions to customers and well, teachers. Well, they might be misinterpreted. Now, honestly, mightn't they?
Why?
And so if a salesman or someone were jealous, why, they could all be downright lies now, couldn't they?
What could?
Rumors and things.
Why, of course.
Well, it just proves that you shouldn't believe everything you hear, and that if you just discuss things...
Miss Marian, I would be delighted to discuss anything in the world with you. But couldn't we do it sitting down? Your knees, they do bend and all.
Yes. Well, I suppose we could sit on the porch steps.
We could also sit up. Large hollow log over at the Footbridge.
Oh, I couldn't think of it. I've never been to the Footbridge before with a man in my life.
Only to talk.
I have to change for the sociable.
Then meet me there in 15 minutes.
I can't. Please, some other time. Maybe tomorrow.
My dear little librarian, you pile up enough tomorrows, and you'll find you've collected nothing but a lot of empty yesterdays. Now, I don't know about you, but I'd like to make today worth remembering.
Oh, so would I.
Footbridge. 15 minutes.
15 minutes. Footbridge in 15 minutes.
Glory be and the saints be praised, it works.
What does?
I've been using the think system on you from the parlor.
People are gonna be screaming for music if they show up at the sociable.
Yeah.
Here's most of the dough. I got Tommy to collect it. He's pretending to hold the practice down at the lumberyard. Keeping the kids together at least.
All right, Mars, get the rig.
Got it.
What time's the freight go?
9:40 from the junction.
It's not even 8:30 yet.
Look, if you want to turtle wordle around here and get yourself caught in a bunny trap, you go ahead, but I got other things.
Don't you worry about me, Mars. I'll meet you at the hotel in plenty of time. Now beat it. Marian. You're late.
But you said 15 minutes.
Well, what I meant was, I'd say about 26 years late. Took you this long to get to the Footbridge with a fella?
Well, if you want to know the truth, it was almost longer.
Oh?
Halfway here, I nearly turned back. I suppose I'm not the first to find it easier to think when not under the spell of your salesmanship.
No, surely you don't think I've been selling you anything.
No, you've given me something. That's why I decided to come.
But I don't recall giving you...
Oh yes, you have. Something beautiful. And I'm glad. Oh, please don't be afraid that I expect too much more. One can't expect a traveling salesman to stay put. Oh, I know there have been many ports of call, and, well, there'll be many more. But that's no reason for me not to be grateful for what you've left behind. For me.
But Marian, I...
There were bells on the hill, but I never heard them ringing. No, I never heard them at all till there was you. There were birds in the sky, but I never saw them ringing. No, I never saw them at all till there was you. And there was music, and there were wonderful roses. They tell me in sweet, fragrant meadows of dawn and dew. There was love all around, but I never heard it singing. No, I never heard it at all till there was you.
There was love all around, but I never heard it singing. No, I never heard it at all till there was you. Marian, there's a lot of things that you don't know about me. Hey, Greg. Excuse me, I'm expecting a caper from Hector Berlioz. This might be it. Now what?
Who's the salesman here? Sounds like she's selling and you're buying.
I had to keep her off balance, didn't I? I told you what I was doing.
Well, she's so far off balance you can't tell her from a catboat in a hurricane.
Listen here, Buster Brown. I didn't know I was going to be able to leave tonight. I worked my way up to the ranks on this skirmish. I'm not resigning without my commission.
You're not gonna get anywhere right out here at the Footbridge.
Listen, there's a place over at Madison Park makes this place look like an old lady's home. Now beat it. Get the rig. Never a dull moment in the music business. Now, where were we?
You were about to tell me what I don't know about you.
Well, we don't have to go into that just now then, do we?
No. Or ever, for that matter, Harold. The librarian hasn't felt much like doing research lately.
Oh, but she did plenty when you first came.
Oh? About what?
Oh, about Gary Conservatory, gold medal class of Art 5. Harry, there wasn't any gold medal class of Art 5.
Why, there certainly was.
Because the town wasn't even built until Art 6. See you at the sociable.
Wait, you knew all the time?
Since July 7th, 3 days after you came. I tore this page out of the Indiana State Journal. Originally it was intended to use against you, but now I give it to you with all my heart.
But if you knew, why didn't you? Why, you little... Then I modestly took my place as a one and only base, and I moved Bud up and down the square.
Good night, my someone. Good night, my love.
With 110 cornets close at hand.
Our star is shining, its brightest light.
There were hordes of every shape and sweet dreams be yours, dear, if dreams there be.
110 cornets played the air.
I wish I may, and I wish I might. Now good night, my someone. Good night.
This guy's crazy. He's going all over town spilling everything.
You bet I'm crazy. Missed my train. Probably lost my job. But I got you now, Bill, and you'll pay. I would have had you in Clink sooner if it wasn't for that piano teacher. I tell her all about you, and what does she do? Lily gangs me around so I can't see shit. That little dried up man-hungry...
Get out of here or I'll kill you, you dirty no good...
Why, you big bully. You big blow-up. Why, I'll stay in this town till you get yours up, down, through and sideways. Why, you didn't even know the territory.
Come on, Greg. Here's her stuff. The rig's in the alley. Come on, hurry up.
His hands on your wallets ever since he came to town. Like yours, mister. And yours, little lady. And yours, madam. There is more documented evidence than you could ever possibly read. There is no band. There never has been any band.
And there never will be any band. And if you don't hunt this man down like a dog right now, there won't be any Harold Hill either. He'll be on the next train out of town.
Now will you believe me?
But what are we waiting for?
I want my money back.
Money back? I want his eye.
After him! After him! And when you find him, bring him to the schoolhouse. Well, after him, try to
all over for you.
Harold, I'm looking for Winthrop. He's run away. Oh,
I had to see you, Marian.
it's all right. Don't you know that? You don't owe me a word, not a word.
Greg! He isn't anywhere around here. Let's try down by the creek.
Winthrop!
Hold on a minute.
I'm not your son. Let me go.
Not till I talk to you.
I won't listen. You would tell the truth anyway.
Would too?
Would not.
I would too. Tell you anything you want to know.
Can you lead a band?
No.
Are you a big liar?
Yes.
Are you dirty, rotten crook?
Yes.
Let me go, you
Not
big
till
liar.
I talk to you for a minute. Now, what's the matter? You wanted it all, didn't you? You know what? I'm bigger than you are, so you might as well quit wiggling, because you're going to get it all. Now, there's two things you're entitled to know. First, you're a great kid. I thought so from the first. That's why I wanted you in the band, so you'd quit moping around feeling sorry for yourself.
What band?
I always think there's a band, kid.
What's the other thing I'm entitled to know?
Well, it's none of your business now that I think of it.
I wish you'd never come to River City.
No, you don't, Winthrop.
Sister, you believe him?
I believe everything he ever said to us.
But he promised us.
I know what he promised. And it all came true, just like he said. The lights, the flags, the colors, the symbols. Everything.
Where was all that?
In the rain. Each one of you kids walked around here this summer. Especially you. And the parents, too. Does Mama wish he'd never come to River City?
Well, you do, don't you?
No, Winthrop. I don't. Now go, Harold, please.
Go on, Professor, hurry up.
I can't go, Winthrop.
Why not?
For the first time in my life, I got my foot caught in the door. There was love all around, but I never heard it singing. No, I never heard it at all, till there was you.
Which is why I interrupted the program at this point. Rest assured, the snake in our bosom would have been misapprehended by this time. And always remember, my fellow River City-zians, I have done everything in my power
to prevent this dire happening from happening. Fourscore.
So, what have you done about getting our money back?
That man has collected nearly $300 for those uniforms, just tonight.
And we haven't even seen the uniforms yet.
He's so slippery. I told you.
I haven't seen any uniform or my boy either since just after supper.
He's a kidnapper.
Fine situation we've got here.
7 years ago. Just a minute. Virtue has triumphed. The sword of retribution has cut down Professor Harold Hill. And if there are those, as I have heard, who are melting tar and collecting feathers, I will not say them nay.
Just a minute. Well, I think surely there are some of you that ought to forget our everlasting, Iowa stubborn, chip-on-the-shoulder arrogance. Just long enough to remember River City before Harold Hill. Do you remember? Well, do you? Surely there ought to be some of you who are grateful for what he's brought. And if so, well, I should think that you would want to admit it.
You're wasting a great deal of time here. If there is a person in this hall who does not think that man Hill should be tarred and feathered, well, let him stand up. You ladies sit down! And the rest of you standing there like a CUDA Shropshire sheep. Have you forgotten you paid for expensive uniforms, technical instruction books, and high-priced band instruments? Have you forgotten the clear understanding and warranty that your children would be taught to play in a band? Well, where's the band? Where's the band? Where is the band?
Think, men. Think.